international, but then we won the Pacific.
King of Kings, long may they reign.
It feels so nice. We want to repeat that feeling again, so we trying to rush the process, and maybe that make us lose.
How low for you guys?
A little bit before our game. They looked pretty good, to be honest. I think it was just kind of the same scenario as us. The first game on international stage, warming up with each other. We can't underestimate them, and I think they're going to be a tough challenge for us.
Fnatic, I think they are a good squad also. They have a very good IGL and 4 insane players. They have a good IGL.
Switch to YouTube? I will in a sec.
So much experience. It's gonna be so hard for us. Fnatic, I have watched you guys play for so long, so that now I'm ready.
Can you guys turn up your streams as well?
I'm leaving this early.
But I think it should be good.
The lower bracket is always scary, but the thrill of the competition and the feeling of that win, nothing beats that. And the momentum you carry forward into the tournament is something that can't be touched.
我的难点基本上都出在自己的身上嘛，因为我们需要多一点自信，然后因为大家也都是第一次站在世界的舞台嘛，我觉得心态上面就告诉自己不比别人差吧。
XLG in the same boat as us, came from Ascension. We're #1 in our region, got put into the playoff gauntlet, and we both lost first. Unfortunate, but I know both of us have that similar feeling right now of let's go lock in this lower bracket run.
应该是 Jockey， 因为他算是世界顶尖的决斗者，他们滚雪球滚起来的话，那对我们来说会比较难受。要相信队友，最主要相信队友，我们就可以赢得这场比赛。
XLG, you guys are a very nice team, but I'm sorry, we're gonna prove that we're the better Ascension squad.
我也非常喜欢你们的队伍，在我们舞台上见。
If you know ball, you have X.
G2 and XLG are the champions of Americas and CM, but there is a bigger trophy here in Toronto. Today, they have to prove they've got what it takes to go all the way.
If you want to go on a lower bracket run, you'll only have one day.
Let me open YouTube, yeah?
That matches are possible for the rest of this tournament. It is a very tough task, but momentum means a lot. And starting strong in these first...
Sorry.
Omen map select. G2, they said it themselves, Vansili. They have a deep map pool. How do XLG handle this?
I think it's a great start to kick things off with Icebox for XLG, because you're looking at the numbers, and the big numbers being put up by their star duelist is a lot on his Jet. So to not have to go with this Neon Breach composition that they tried in their day one against Sentinels to fight fire for fire, I feel like this is a perfect map for them to just not necessarily pug it out, but to play some very comfortable roles, use that distance, and leverage Warguard to get those numbers up and that confidence for the series.
I'm super interested in what G2 are going to go into on their Icebox. They were playing a no duelist comp that they've honestly played for quite a while, just swapping the Taeho in. I expect they might stick to it and just 1-for-1 the Sova, but also, in my opinion, Icebox is still the most viable map for Taeho, even if it still thinks is probably better.
I mean, we've seen it from Genji already. They were not afraid to stick to the Tejo. You got to think that Vansili,
I asked her out and she said no.
In this tournament, it would make the most sense for G2 and Trent.
Yeah, definitely. And the playing the Sova on that moment,
you gotta fail before you can
succeed. On a tail before, but switching to a Sova is still comfortable picks for them. We've seen what a Sova can do on his very map as well, especially in those big rounds when you have the ult up and the passive plays that you play around that Sova. And he's always going to be amazing droning for the team rather to allow for them to get that.
But personally, I just succeeded on the first try. That's just me though.
Composition for G2 to not play a duelist, because now you're going to slow scale with the Gecko, with the Sova, trying to find that info.
And G2 is really good at
Derek,
that
have my kids.
Style, playing that control. And this is where Raga is going to need to be on his game all series. Because if he is taking liberties the way he did in CN, and don't get me wrong, his mechanics are incredible. He gets away with it a lot. But G2 is a team that I know will come in focused on not allowing him to do so.
Was she a baddie or no?
We spoke about this already in terms of midi. He's only played
it was a guy.
so far for XLG. He can't be doing that on Icebox.
I don't think so, but if you even look at his past career, though he's had some experience outside of Teo, playing a little bit of a solo as well. He's just trying to get into that comfort pick once again. But this is a big test and a big ask for him. You're going into this Toronto stage where you don't have that opportunity to get too much practice and reps in, so you also have to just be pristine when you're going into this moment.
Oh,
Sage!
G2, I love this team. We are locking Sage. We have gone so long without people playing this agent on this map. She is so strong. She is the best way to easily plant the spike, to easily win your retakes. I'm happy with that.
The thing is right now is that, yes, G2 is playing composition where you're having a Sage for the plant, but Valen is playing Omen and your duelist is not really playing any duelist. So at this point, you're focusing on Valen to not necessarily open up as a duelist role, but to get that spot.
Well, the agents are logged, the players are ready, and there's only one thing left for me to do. Toronto, give a warm welcome to the bread and butter duo of VCT, Bren and Sideshow.
Oh my God.
Yeah, let's get this one started then. Toronto, there's a certain energy in the air right now, I think. There's a certain energy because it's an elimination on the line with G2 versus XLG. Two teams that are wishing to go even further here, but one of them is going to be exiting far earlier than anticipated.
And there are so many things similar about these two teams. They're both Ascension rosters that have done so remarkably well, but teams that played the meta, who got the top seed in their region and then struggled massively
Is it the same guy or no?
match here at Toronto, and failed to hit expectations. And I think you could say that about both squads, because no one really expected all of the top seeds to end up down here, and especially G2 and XLG yet to take a map.
Bread and butter's crazy. Who said bread and butter? Bread and butter.
People are saying back at home. But I think both of these teams are getting hit by that change pretty similarly.
Yeah. Hard-fought battle over towards A main as well. Conceded up by G2 nice and early. Looking like they want to try and play this one purely for retake. Full evacuation. Raga on his
Wait, XLG are about to eliminate G2. Oh my God.
Util's going to be sent flying forwards. Wall up on top of it with the paranoia offloaded. It's all sweeping across the site. Not enough to try and push them back, and Midi going to get traded. Toppled. Towards the top there, Jonah P lurking slightly around to the side here, and there's that Sage coming into play. Jogamo sticking, half onto the fuse. Win concert to G2. A pistol round in their back pockets.
Damn.
Immediately Valen's hyped up about that one.
Damn.
This is a big change to their composition, but both comps that they've played recently, both with the Gecko and now...
Wait, these guys want it. I didn't know they wanted it that bad.
Retake style. Look at how much pressure the wall puts down, especially on the pistol. If you manage to save that wall for the retake on pistol, it's so difficult to get through.
Look at this, look at this.
But keep an eye out for that once weapons come online as well.
Damn.
Once XLG have more ways of being able to deny. G2 played so heavily for retake against Paper Rex, but Paper Rex were always there, always with a game plan.
G2, ever methodical, just trying to vacuum up most of the orbs as well, denying XLG any chance of getting some value on their own eco. They bought 3 sheriffs across the board.
Take flight.
Heavy re-exploration through mid. That's just based on the
Do we know how much practice XLG has with this
so now
side?
that they've pulled bodies into mid, XLG are trying to find this timing to go over towards what should be a bit of a softer site.
Two-way's going to be caught in through mid. And so that Nano Swarm's okay.
2 weeks.
Midi going down there. Look at Nano really deep over towards yellow.
See the discipline though at G2. They're not willing to give anything up. Even Jonah P just slight pot shots, peeking off to the side. Everybody taking the right timings for it. Nice lead here for G2, and you can feel how much it means to them, I think, for a team like G2, where expectations are sky high for this squad. Expected almost to be finalists in terms of every event that they end up attending, especially at this point.
But they'd have to go perfect here through the lower bracket to even make another grand final, another opportunity to redeem themselves after a match that I'm sure they'll believe they should have won in Bangkok. It does feel like an angry G2
if they get a bonus,
first
GG.
couple of rounds. But now Rifle's back online. More opportunities to crack this retake setup that G2 appear to be playing. And the more that you play retake on the sites, the more that you can focus on defending through mid. So if G2 are going to play pretty soft on the sites themselves, that means that XLG should be denied these mid lurks that they appear to be looking for. As Coconut and Happy Way were thinking about putting a bit of pressure mid this round. G2 have stacked 3 players over towards B, currently clearing it out over here. Does XLG take that space for an AXEC instead?
Uh-oh.
If they go back, though, towards Coconut.
Oh, he reacts!
Sleep at the wheel of Smos. He's going to be calling for his team. Reinforcements arriving. This is going to be a brawl. Bit of a tussle occurring out towards B main, yet somehow G2 is still ending up the winners of it. Paranoia uses that insurance policy
Wait,
for the exit.
low-key, he kind of sold. Like, he mollied them, scared them away, and they got out.
0 and 3.
A rough beginning and a rough continuation.
Open access over towards the A side, though, trying to go for that planner. Swinging to the back, Leaf lucky to be alive. Just about backs himself away here. And XLG looking like they want to fight this one forwards, not defaulting back and away, already making the necessary adjustments against the Sage pick.
Remember, you can't allow Jorgamo to get into position.
Why are you
to put this
spamming
wall
that
down
shit?
in front of the diffuse.
We get it, bro. We
Fine,
saw.
Sky high, face out to the side. It's G2. Plenty of bodies, plenty of action. Still XLG. They have those rifles.
Oh my god, these guys are shit. I'm sorry, these guys are shit.
Still leaves it all just down a happy way. It's Snappy. Does he need a bit more where that came from as well? Damage has definitely been done.
No, I thought I was shit.
28 HP. Is it enough to work with? Tap it on and running him down. Time
They won.
is up. Valen realizes it.
All right, that was mean. I'm sorry. That was mean. I'm sorry.
An expensive one at that.
I take it back. But that was really. Nah, these guys are. Nah, I'm
put a
kidding.
round on the board. A Red Bull clutch in the end from Happy Way. The sole player who's been playing up to expectation, I think, for this
China,
roster.
do you claim these guys or no?
Has a weight of a region on their shoulders.
Be honest, bro. Do you claim them?
Up until the point the Wolves turned up to this event, started playing incredibly well. Happy Way's been excellent, though.
Bro, okay. Guys, we asking China. If you're not from China, stop answering, dog.
Is going to be shattered.
Half the motherfuckers who said no are definitely not from China.
A must-win round again for XLG.
Jonah P just making sure to deal with a lot of that early util. G2 open up with the slow orb up towards top. Now the drone as well. Mo going exploring. There's a re-swing off to the side.
Ooh.
Adjustments necessary.
Nice shot.
Calm and steady aim in the end.
It's always G2 driving the action here. They fought over towards B in the previous round. Now they're fighting towards A, and it just drives XLG into the opposite site. XLG need to find some way of disrupting the tempo. And the plant denied.
I mean, another one was dead, and they just sent the spike into his
Coconut.
Oh no.
Even
Nah, he's getting
I don't
outclassed.
think there was a chance that he was also getting this lead.
Outclassed.
Refighting. A little bit deeper. Flash. Not really recoverable. Slow orb's going to be down. G2 still want to play this one for the retake. And Jorgamo just taking that
Drink
slight
something
peek
hot.
from
I'm going to
Kitchen.
order noodles soon.
Into that
I'm
angle.
so
Middy's going to be
excited.
dropped now. Just 2 left to stand against it, but swarms on every possible position. G2 have got their number. And Leaf is the one to be delivering that dagger to the back.
I'm sorry, I looked away, but that was nice.
Thanks. Monster play from Leaf. Perfect at reading the timing. And there is a safety policy. But G2 have been in complete control. Everything that they're doing here is forcing XLG into really predictable reactions. G2's game plan could roughly be summarized as we'll fight on one side of the map, we'll play retake on the other. And you just put the retake side has a little bit of plant denial, whether that's, you know, a nano swarm in this round. And suddenly XLG are slow. The reaction's not quite as fast as they would want. They can't take deep space on site.
We are family in this chat. Don't argue with each other.
Hit the panic button
Be the
early
bigger
here.
person and admit you're wrong.
Coach Foya has got to get some more ideas into this squad. They've got to find ways of disrupting the game plan from G2. And they've also got to find ways of getting Raga online. This guy, when you look at the stats coming into the event, you can make arguments like, okay, he's in a bit of a weaker region. Okay, weaker region. Have you been seeing what Wolves have been doing at this event?
It's not an argument anymore.
I mean, you know, there is some level of an argument, but Raga has been dominant.
I was so laid back
domestically
and chill,
inside
bro. I'm
China.
tired and sick. I'm
Absolutely
getting sick.
tearing people into pieces.
Why does
But
this
that
guy
was
look
in the
like
previous
this is his
meta
younger
where he was
brother?
always set up with double initiator utility. And now we find XLG in a different meta, having to make a roster change right before this tournament, removing one of those initiator players and subbing in a player who can't communicate as well in English.
Yeah.
Which this roster, in case you're unaware, is a blend of English and Mandarin in terms of their communication. So once you sever that really delicate
Happy
balance
Father's
of
Day,
box,
but I don't know if we
it's
have
gonna
any
make it a
fathers in
lot
here.
harder for even a star
I
player
feel like
like
most of you
Raga
are
to shine.
12, not gonna
Seeing that,
lie.
I think in terms of the reflection, I mean, Raga's been putting his body on the line
Chatting to a bunch of
numerous
children.
times. Normally the setup goes the other way. Everything's being invested to make sure that he is empowered and has a great game.
Oh,
But yeah,
God
when I was
help
watching
me.
XLG play previously against Sentinels, he was running in first as Neon looking to get traded. That's not the guy that I was watching in China.
It's an eco round for now for XLG. Whatever was called into the timeout, adjustments to be made. Probably going to be taken into account a little bit later on. Jorgamo always willing to take these
Wow.
fights. He steps up to the
He's
mark.
feeling
He's
it,
not
bro.
shy at all. Big
Raga
game
is dead
player.
already.
XLG might have been expecting that they got the site for free there. It's good to throw in a twist every now and then.
See it already. Spike's going to be attempted to plant there.
Spike planted.
Wingman will get this one down as well, so into the post plant we go. But XLG, what have they got to really work with?
Good Utah.
Pistols, high ground position, pushed off and away. Happy Way not to be dismayed. Off to the side though, no accounting for it, and already just wall up into their face. And Pistols just have to expend the entirety of the clip just to even stand a bloody chance. It's
Damn, John got a
heartbreak
kill and
already.
got back
It's
on.
overwhelming.
What a Chad, bro. He got a
Purely
kill.
overwhelming. This is a
He got
G2
off, got a
team.
kill, got back on.
They've come here to play. They want no early exit.
And on an anti-eco like that, the escort the VIP and just get Jorgamo into position, whack down the wall, and it makes those post plants really tough if you're planning to play away from the spike to any degree.
Enemy remaining.
And then if you're forced to play on-site, you're going to get hit by stuff like the Paranoia. Now this round, G2 have Sova ult for plant denial. Killjoy ult for retake. It only gets more difficult. XLG need answers and they need them fast.
One away from a variety of ultimates here. XLG could build towards them. Still have the Thrash as well in their back pockets.
Did they get the retract?
I think it's broken. Sound like it was broken.
It was definitely aiming to be retracted, but it did make the sound line as if it was broken. There should be a 40-second cooldown there.
Happy Way. The tower
Oh my God, the
reinforcements
chat is
immediately coming. G2.
The chat is fucking
they
crazy.
Can shore it up through mid. The question marks. This drone is going to be going straight down. Potentially broken early. Yep,
it's a good bait.
Takes it. It is that bait and switch. Happy Way. He just whiffs it.
You can't lose that. He doesn't have the confidence to peek properly.
Well, I'm sorry, I looked away.
And now they're making a predictable reaction again. Fast into the A site, hit by the lockdown.
Yeah, and it's going to be stunted.
I missed it, fuck.
Away as well into the arms of Jonah P.
Wait, I want to see what happened. I'm going back. After this round, I'm going to go back.
Plant
And then I'll
is
2x
down,
it.
but
Because everyone's
two
saying
players
you.
understand against it.
I want to see the you moment.
Away, Jonah P from the pitch.
Sova, oh, why? There's not enough time. Brother. Brother.
Dwindling now for any chance of winning the round, and they know it. G2. They're skipping, they're hopping, they're all over the place, man.
Should I even go back? Nah, fuck it.
Sova ult. If that isn't desperation, I don't know what is.
Desperation or flustered, I'm not too sure.
But look at this game plan, I love it.
Maybe XLG is homesick.
At the bottom of tube.
Maybe they
Happy
miss
Way's
their
already walked
families.
up to the window. They had a guaranteed kill there on Jorg that could have opened up the round, and they executed it poorly. Just a failure of mechanics, a failure of confidence. Showing that it's not just about the ideas, it's also about the attitude you're bringing to the game. And right now, G2 have come with anger, fury, a determination to win.
XLG, no respite for them. Knocked down to this
Oh, there's a
low,
watermark?
they unfortunately have to contend with a team that everyone was calling before this as one of the best teams in the world.
Yeah, I don't think there's another way of slicing it at this point in the year. It does look like G2, but, you know, if they lose this match, then suddenly all of those narratives get flipped on their head entirely.
Gone. Yeah.
It's a very different crop of teams that we've got here.
Well, look at that stage wall. Where's Grim?
Waiting for the next round of the Viper Wall fuel to come up, and now XLG slowly creeping past the boundary. Dart into the back as well. Smoke to try and obfuscate as well. Cut off to the side. Jonah B. He's going to be holding this one back.
Oh my God, bro.
They collapse onto them.
Nah.
It's from G2.
Raga once again had to be the hero.
I don't know
there,
you
but he
can
only
stream
had
this
3
shit on
knives
Twitch.
By the time he was actually diving through
It's a
that
damn
wall and trying to
massacre.
take the fight. Not enough. Couldn't be precise with the aim.
Enemy down.
need, I mean, listen, we're watching it live in real time, but if you needed any more ideas about how one-sided this has been so far, just look at the KDs of some of the G2 players.
Yeah.
Leaf's 11-1, Jorgamo's 9-1, Trent's 7-1. 3 of them have only died 1 time.
That's crazy.
Massive turnaround for a player like Leaf. Didn't have a great showcase in their last game.
Nah, thank God for the Wolves. No
At
joke.
the top now. Business is booming. Money in the bank.
Shorty, what you drank?
Almost at cap here for G2.
Wait, what?
And G2 have actually changed it up slightly. They're playing on with their Killjoy util.
There it is. Hold on. Trying to play up onto one side. Don't know if he's going to be punished for it.
Jorg is trying to get a Sage Wall so that he can land above their heads, but he's...
Wait a minute.
He's either missing it or he's not taking the timing.
Essentially biding his time.
Can't find the lineup.
Okay, drone broken.
You can't find the
If he
lineup.
hits it, gets him an angle to kill people who are crossing over to yellow.
Where's Grim? Let me make a call for him.
XLG are trying to work the map a little bit here and trying to work some picks. Raga just steps up. Very long sight line, unable to get the kill there. A couple of stray bullets onto Leaf, but he just backs himself away on top of it. Now the lockdown is here. Happy way. Hoping to save it for post, I think. If they can get a free plant on, that would be ideal.
It's a good read.
Yeah.
They've taken down the Killjoy utility earlier on. And Trent, he's not going to invest the overall for that. This round has got to be, it's a must win.
It has to be.
It's a can't lose kind of situation.
Investments they've got as well, but Raga's been dropped as well. But potential rifle spam, I think, through the wall. It might have just caught him unaware. Smokes are going to be dropped down now with the dart towards the back, but again, the pit obfuscated. Hides a lot to blight onto the side here. Wall needs to be broken in time. Portion of it is.
What?
Jorgamo! My God! Jumps up and over, tap onto it, and it is just.
Oh my
out.
God.
The last remaining
Holy
player,
fuck.
stand a chance.
That
If one
was
plays out
sick.
like that, confidence is sky high for G2.
What a
Wow.
beautiful play from Jorg. That's absolute brilliance. The Sage Wall over the top, and then he hops up.
Bro, he
drops
peeked and
behind
shot the
players
Sage
he
Wall.
knows are going to take a
Oh my
timing.
God.
That's not just a
Coconut
must-win round
peeked and
for
shot the
XLG,
Sage
that's
Wall.
one that you really can't lose. Inside the Viper's pit, still double ults to be able to work with.
I know.
They could have
He said, "What is
still had
happening?"
people dropping back and at least using Thrash in that situation. But they believed in the ults and couldn't get the timings on the players. 7-1.
It's only going to get much harder. G2 ult to their own as well. Pit down over towards B. Removes one of the avenues that XLGs can work. Now they've been breaking the turret.
Damn, these
up
guys
from
are
mid
getting
quite often,
fucking
so
rolled, dude.
Leaf has been forced to adjust his setup up.
I mean, it looks at the moment like we're going to get Happyway into position over towards Pipes, which is a good position for a lockdown. The problem is
They're making them
you know,
look
the
so
Sovereign
bad.
Just come through and deny this.
They're making them look so
these
bad.
two ults from Happyway and Trent kind of cancel each other out. And they're hoping that's going to make a distraction for this mid push.
Yeah, 3 players up through mid now. XLG looking to pounce. That's an updraft dash all the way around to the side. And Jorgamo caught unaware, still not dead though. And the players are dropping.
Spike down mid.
It's XLG.
The mid split with the
The
KJ
cheeky
ult
idea.
is crazy.
Something to try and turn the tide of the way that this map has been going. But G2, bit of luck and a draw, of course, is being played. But I don't know. XLG have been handed opportunities to get kills. They've just been missing them.
And the spike was mid too, yeah.
That Sage Wall
That was
reaction
not a
from
good
Jorg
strat.
just completely blocks the spike into mid.
30 seconds
But I would have liked to see XLG take a timing after Trent had already invested the ultimate. Wait for the Sova to be stuck inside of his ult.
One last
before
player
you
with a gun
pounce.
out.
And now in a 2v5, this round is impossible.
It's cooked. 15 seconds left. Spike's out of reach. It's a pure save.
It's the most out of reach it could possibly be on an Xbox
10
attack
seconds
round.
left.
The spike going through mid. And these two players
One enemy.
left
Wow.
Hunted.
Dude, they're
Not even
dying
got
so
gas.
fast.
Man,
You
not
guys
even
see
a
how
gun
fast
to
they're
be
dying,
saved.
though?
Flawless here for G2.
Oh my God,
Been
they're
the case
dying
far
so
across the
fast.
entirety of this map.
Another example of XLG having a nice idea but failing to execute on it. They did even get the picks, you know, or at least get an opportunity
One
for the
enemy
picks through mid.
remaining.
But I think their timing was too fast. They didn't wait for
Leon's
that
getting
distraction
bored.
to come through and make it
Leon's
really
getting
feel
bored,
like they
bro.
were hitting the site from A. Are we keeping it simple for the final 2 rounds? At least on the eco here. Looks like XLG are just going to send it.
Try and send it though. The slow orb has been going up towards Belt almost every other round that Jorgen's been playing it. Slows down the initial approach. They could flash up and over. The weaponry is not ideal.
Okay, to be fair, chat, XLG is not coming into the event with the original 5 they had that they qualified with. One player is missing. You is missing. No, not you. You, the player.
Also ready to be expended. They want to, and the angle just not quite cleared.
Who?
At least it was.
You.
He thought it was.
Yeah, he peeked screens a couple
You?
times. With
Not you, bro.
Yeah.
You.
Valen peeks with the drone.
Definitely not you. But
He's got to be thinking about
it's
that.
you.
It's 3-10 right now. A brutal beginning, but so reminiscent of their first match here.
Who is you?
In some ways,
Not
At
you.
this point, G2.
Jorg's waiting for a player to res. No one's died in a while.
No, just pulling it out for the fun of it here. Paranoia sweeps. Lining up onto the two of them. XLG stepping up. They need a few stray shots.
What?
It's just stray shots straight through the wall. Still Viva will answer back. Instantaneous of the res. Jorgen's been waiting a hot minute for that one. Viva finally dealt with. Dropped. He's done the damage. Midi from below. Sheriff in hand has only so much.
Happy way.
Just down a happy way. Can he pull off a miracle?
They actually had more success with the Sheriffs. It felt like.
Every single time.
Sentinels were saying after they played against XLG that they respected them, they were a good team, but they thought that they were slightly easier to play against because they played a standard game. And I think that's one of the things that I really respected watching XLG play domestically. They played to the meta, they played good ideas, but if the execution isn't quite there, and you're playing against squads that they're comfortable in what you should be doing, in what the expected play is. Yeah. G2 are currently just tearing it to pieces. Even the more creative stuff is getting utterly dismantled. And this feels like a last hurrah for XLG as they head over towards B. Can they at least apply a curse? I mean, a 9-3 maybe. But they'd have to play better than currently in order to get to that spot.
They need anything they can get.
How old is that? This is a Red Bull, dude.
At this point.
I've been there.
I don't think Midi has used the Thrash all game. Can we get a Gecko ult out here and apply some pressure onto people?
Can our brother get a Gecko ult out here?
Set Raga up somewhere where they're not going to be hunting for him.
For mid. Drone spotting a happy way. He can exit here if he wants to, but I think just feeling the pressure to at least get a ping, anything to turn the tide.
Wait, there it is.
Been going. And here it is. Hunter's Fury, Thrash, spend up over towards the B side and catching into his sights. Leaf.
Oh my god, bro. Why is why was the Viper here? Why was the Viper on danger? What the fuck? While the Jet is back yellow, the Viper is danger. Oh my god, that's actually so bad.
Last one left. Gonna see there's heroics.
Ooh.
Makes a decent go of it. But a go of it doesn't earn you a round.
Bro, the Viper was danger. I've never seen that in pro play. Why would the Viper be danger?
Happy way and whether or not he should have expected that corner after he got pushed off in mid. But the players on B had a Thrash to try to work forwards, and it was only Coconut who took any space.
No, that's XLG's map pick? No joke. I know this is the map they picked. It's probably the map. What the fuck? How's brother stuck into the crowd? I know this is the map that
Some of the loudest cheering I've heard, actually.
XLG have picked, but I actually think that the map,
It's 10-1 here.
like
G2.
Haven, I think they have a better chance on the map. They didn't practice as much.
What's left here in the first half of Icebox?
And you're going up against the Operator on one side, the Outlaw on the other. 3 players on
I
light
couldn't
armor.
form those sentences. I can't talk.
And a half that looks unrecoverable.
It's you hiding in the crowd.
Jiggle Jorgamo. Sole defender over towards A. Many angles of which he can be spotted at, and yes, he is plucked out of the picture.
Pays a little bit there for the hubris of holding such a out in the open kind of angle.
Lockdown's going to be expended nice and early though. This is Leaf looking to try and push them back and away. Raga overstaying his welcome.
And remember now, Jorgamo dead.
I handpicked 5 chatters. No joke, we get more than 1 round that half.
So a lot of it's around the smokes.
Paranoia is perfect. Raga, that's instinctual. Right click with a knife, and he's stepping all the way up and through. Finally, though, dismissed and dealt with. Quick little peek, though, toppling, and as the mollies are going to be going up and over, this could be the best chance in a long while. XLG, still Leaf, watching for it. Too many bodies, though, and a bit of spam does the job. 10-2. It's the scoreline of what we're looking at.
If they bring this back, I go bald and move to China.
Difficult to watch for XLG.
If XLG bring it back, I go bald and move to China. I full-time stream from there.
Dominant opening for G2, who I think have come into this with a lot of anger after losing 2-0 as the #1 seed from Americas.
If XLG bring it back from 10-2, I go bald, move to China, and start a new life.
That he loves, where he can just run around on defense, take the timings, push out, abuse the lurker on the other side, and buy the outlaw whenever he likes in order to punish the other team's economy too. This is more of what I was expecting from him in their opening game. He didn't quite live up to expectations there, though I think Trent did, despite the fact that he's had to move off the Tejo. But definitely a player to keep your eye on now that we're heading onto the attack side too. Because Leaf will crack open mid if things get complicated, but if I was G2 here, I'd be trying to stick as simple as possible. Yeah. Everything's been working.
I'm muted?
Absolutely everything. Okay, stuff. Now, having said that, I mean, maybe this is just a play for the turret, or maybe they're going to do an A split, which would be unusual.
There's a play for the turret, pre-firing.
What is that smoke for?
Say, up towards top boiler, but it's a different spot.
Yeah, it's an unusual position actually for the turret here. You see it in a position where it covers the window.
Deploying drone.
The presence shown here by XLG.
And a pretty similar game plan, right? Where they're going to fight over towards B, they're going to try to get information there, and play a retake style on A where they have a bit of plant denial. It could be straight out of the G2 playbook.
All up and over, a bit of spam to try and break this one early, but not in time. Still stands for now, plant up towards the top. Rapid approach. This is from the flank, and it's all going to be heard and received by Trent. Surely going to be common. He's just holding for any extra element that might be coming out through that one, and he's still tucked, so he is safe in this possible position, and now sees it off to the side. That's just a classic in hand. Raga has been dealt with, taken out. Now it's up to Leaf to try and step up to it and see if he can hold this one back here, and losing control to the flank. The players are dropping like
wait.
here. G2. Not sure which way they wanted to look.
Bro, I can't move to China. Nah.
Just rips the head clean.
I was talking a big game, but I can't do it, bro. I have to relocate my whole family as well. It's just a big move.
as we head into
Also,
this
I don't
half,
speak a lick of Chinese.
I was expecting him to get the value,
Ni
not
hao,
to get
fine
shut
shit.
down. That flank came straight into him. He dodged the dizzy.
That's all I know.
And yet Midi still swings around the corner, ghost in hand, and one-taps him in the head. Really big value there from the substitute player on XLG. That allowed the flank to thoroughly come through into sight. And the rest of the players on G2 got surrounded.
They need a bit more of that. Keep the energy up, spirits need to be lifted. The pistol round win.
Yeah, but look at this. Anytime you cut one head off the Hydra, suddenly the Stingers all pop up. And even Jonah P with a Spectre. That's the wrong gun, buddy. What are you doing with that in your hand?
They forced. The G2 force.
We see G2 rip the unsuspecting. Tear them apart with the Stingers in hand. Peeks off to the side here with the Outlaw.
The Outlaw's a great purchase.
Yeah, it's shown. Jonah P looking
Wait,
up through
what's
mid.
happening?
Chance of the timing
Oh!
Just snaps right up top.
Oh,
Midi's got the peaks of his own. And everybody feeling like they have to be the
Sean
hero.
Garris.
Like this, when you're down to this extent, snapping up to the
Check
side.
Midi.
That's 2 shots required. A G2 overwhelm. They swarm the back of the side. Coconut. It's
Wow.
the last one left to do it. And it's too much to overcome G2.
They forced
that
on
little
them.
play where Jorgamo takes contact on the Outlaw, takes 140 damage, and wastes essentially Raga's shots. And the rest of the players with light armor Stingers come in afterwards. Jorgamo was essentially playing a tank. He's running the Sage tank build. He's designed to just absorb Outlaw shots and let the rest of his team trade him out. A beautiful idea to counter the Outlaw, which itself was supposed to be a counter to the Stinger force buy. And G2, they're back in the ascendancy.
Is it weird if I wish Rob a happy Father's Day?
Full armor in a classic.
Yeah.
Nah, that's not weird.
He knew what his job was.
Yeah. And just like that, wind out of the sails here for XLG.
Yeah, if they had a hope, it
Yeah,
does
that's good,
appear
yeah.
to be dashed against the rocks.
It's a deep dart against the back wall here. Leaf might be getting pressured at a moment's notice. Backs himself away to...
Wow, people keep saying Happy Father's Day to me. I don't got no kids.
But XLG, having heard nothing on A, are not really rotating defensive players around to try to catch G2 where they might be. Instead, look
But
at
you're
them
still my
push
daddy?
down.
What?
This could be a clash, because G2, Valiant is calling for them to go back into this site.
Yep. That's a deep drone, though. That was going to be offloaded nice and close, so G2 are aware that they pushed up deep through A main. What's the call now? Re-clear it out or go in a different direction?
You guys are 12. Stop typing.
Mid. Happy way.
If he just stayed where he was, he would have heard so much information.
Just getting antsy.
I think your comment, everybody feels like they have to be the hero right now. It's so accurate. When you're down like this and none of your standard ideas are working,
30 seconds left.
you feel like you've got to take more and more risk.
Stepping forwards, Raga cheeky with the shot.
What the
Flash
fuck?
does connect, but Smoke's going to be obfuscating, blocking. Any chance for XLG to capitalize on the back of it? Still, it is 4 versus 4. Plan is down. Now for G2, watching up through, just spots it, and okay. Scope.
I need this to be a quick day, so thank you, G2.
Now, and he's going to be making sure that he can stay posted.
I would like
up
to
into
rest.
this position. Catching it, and you never expect this one. You never expect it at all. Sprayed down.
12-3 aware.
G2 find themselves to 12.
One final opportunity here for XLG to try to stabilize themselves, but there are 9 chances for G2 to close this out, and they've barely needed more than a first opportunity, a first chance in any of these rounds.
Bro's eating soup and PJ's talking about I need rest.
They came into this so hyped up. The adrenaline was at a max for G2. When they won the
This
pistol
morning
at
I
the
was
very
like,
beginning,
fuck, like I'm
they were
fucking,
losing it.
I feel like shit. I'm hella tired. Like,
All out
fuck, this
now,
watch party's just fucked. And then I thought to myself,
round
like, damn,
3.
what if I
Anyway,
felt this way and I had to go
whenever
to an
that first
actual
round-
job? And then I got my ass out of bed and brushed my teeth like a good boy.
There's just nothing going right for XLG here.
No, happy way, even the movement. He ends up tripping over his shoelaces, gets caught there by Trent. The ults are good, and it's the same trio from XLG trying to make something happen again. They pushed out A in the previous round, now they've gone over to B.
Jonah P. Oh, he's in transit. He's blocked by the barrels. Could have had an exit perhaps, maybe, but Midi's going to be dropping him nevertheless.
I mean, to be fair, it's a very new map, isn't it? Those barrels only just got recently added.
A lot of changes to Icebox recently, so...
4v4.
Rifles in the hands for XLG, and they're stomping, they're marching. They know it's the last lifeline here for them on Icebox. Time to make a go of it once more. Stepping forwards here with a flash. That's a bit of an indicator closer to the corner.
Oh no.
What are you doing?
Oh,
Cycling the U-turn.
oh my God.
Loose and unleashed. And leaves it down to Coconut in a 1v2. All for the map. All here and now.
GG.
Tonight, that last chance and all.
Wow.
13-3 is how Icebox is going to be sealed up here for G2.
Very businesslike from the #1 seed from Americas. They come in, get the job done, and they're out. Next map, Haven. Both teams were running the breach, Tejo. We'll see if XLG have more for us there.
Damn. That's it? I mean, that was map 1. The only bad news is that was XLG's map pick. Where's the music?
You guys had a lot
Well,
of success with that agent as well. So when it comes to the composition on Icebox, was there a debate or discussion around the Sage versus the Tejo? Or was the game plan all along
This little fucker?
Starting లో కొట్టిన ఎపిక్ గేమ్స్ చేంజ్ చేసిన పాస్వర్డ్
Probably don't expect too much of that.
స్టార్టింగ్ ఎపిక్ గేమ్స్ తోనే స్టార్ట్ చేసిండు వాడు.
Makes a lot of sense. It's always been really good. So we just figured like we can make our own variation with the Sage comp. So that's how we arrived at that.
2F ఉంది నాది మెయిల్.
I never had quail eggs.
I'll keep you guys like guessing, you know? Maybe there's Teo, maybe there's not Teo. But you know, we'll wait and see.
As always, thank you.
G2 have finally picked
Iron and potassium on the periodic table. Obvious.
అప్పుడు గెలిచిన అయ్యిండే కదా హ్యాక్. అప్పుడే పెట్టుకున్నా 2F. చూస్తున్నా అన్నీ కరెక్టే ఉన్నాయి. ఫ్రీ పిక్ కంపెనీ ఇదేంద్రా.
Wait.
Picking up an agent that he's never played with the team
Well,
before.
it wouldn't be esports
A
anymore.
bold move given the short notice. So what compelled you to do it?
Multiple service on the go.
Change of our main player to media as a sub.
ఇంత తక్కువ కనెక్షన్స్ ఉన్నాయి నా
Oh, here's the
ఏ షాప్
excuses. Finally, they've been waiting.
As he felt, so
ఒక స్క్రోల్కే పోయింది ఆల్మోస్ట్.
he went to play Gecko.
Where is
Thank you for the
you?
insight. Good luck.
they gotta dig a little bit deeper on this one because otherwise they're
Where
gonna
are you
be
hiding, you?
eliminated in a very
Where are you hiding you?
ఏ
I know
మొత్తం
you have
హిట్స్ అయితే
him.
డబ్బులు ఎక్కువ.
Happyweight Cypher is going to have to do a good job once the side swap of denying potential lurks from Jonah P. Or Leaf even using the Viper. Now that we're focused on the attack side, my eyes are on XLG.
Very
Can
smooth.
their double initiators combo
I was gonna do it. I was gonna do the fuck out of that.
up for success?
I was actually about to go crazy right there.
A million miles away.
They call me the fucking
running and having so much success
the fucking Tarek
Right.
Bolt. Where the fuck is my mouse?
Already going exploring up through mid here with a flash and a horn top
Where's
towards
my
the top
mouse?
and wrapping around to the side. It's a lot of damage, no slight kill, but Valin might get that exit or not. Happy way, trying to catch him. Paranoia just barely there towards his back and peeking out through the smoke. Trent will be punished.
I can't close Gamba. I voted. Fuck it, let it run.
And yet, no kills whatsoever.
Better odds for
They
XLG fans.
They now have C control.
Wait, no, people are gonna vote for G2 after XLG win pistol. It's actually better odds for G2 people.
Offside as well. No smokes alive, Valin. One way propped up on top of it.
No joke, if XLG had any fans, they lost them last map.
Gonna be able to get that.
They lost them on the way to map 2.
Just trying to tap away there, ghost in hand. Jorgamo puts him down, but his team has got it all handled.
It's a really nice idea.
This is the great battle of G2 versus XLG. G2's 3 fans versus XLG's 4. Who will come out on top?
Let's go!
Close the Preds? Should I actually close them?
XLG previously were running the Tejo Breach version of this composition.
I'll close the
Very
Preds.
Similar.
Predictions are closing
Away to solve a breach
in 5,
too much at all.
4. I closed them.